Eric Bartley again. Another in the series of the overcoming obstacle videos. The thing I want to talk to us about today is sometimes we need to use the obstacles that pop up in our lives. Sometimes the obstacles that show up, we need to use them to build our platform, to build the things that we're going to move to the next step in our life, move to that thing that we're called to do. Sometimes it takes an obstacle. It takes a I don't want to say tragedy because that's pretty harsh, but sometimes it takes some obstacles, it takes some adversity, it takes some things along the way that are not overly positive, things that we really wouldn't choose to go through, but we just kind of got to work our way through them. Sometimes those obstacles pop up. And the thing I want to remind us of today is that we need to take whatever that obstacle is, we need to take that and make it into our platform. There have been countless people in the history of people that have used the adversity that shows up in their lives, have used some tremendously negative, very harmful, sometimes very uncomfortable situation in their life. They've used it to build the platform to where they go and help others through that thing. So for the person who has made it through a broken marriage or destroyed finances or health issues or relationship issues, or and the list could go on. But for the individual that's come up against those kinds of obstacles in their life and has made it around those obstacles, made it through those obstacles, they can go back and use that time, use that obstacle, that barrier, that boundary that was set up to keep them from what God wants to do. They can use that to help them move to the next level in their lives, where they're able to help others through those things. I know that in my writing and in my speaking and in my preaching, teaching, whatever it is, I'm constantly referring back to situations in my own life where there were obstacles or failures or things that came up, and I made it through those by the grace of God and through God's help and making right choices and doing the right things along the way and modifying my path, deciding that I'm not going to put barriers in front of myself. But I'm able to look back at those moments and use those to build my platform. There's some instances in my life. There was about a 3 or 4 year period in my life, possibly 5-year period. There was a chunk of time in my life that I really wouldn't want to go back to. I really wouldn't want to go back through the stress and the pain and the heartache and just the whole gamut of feelings that come up during that time in my life, and all of the hurt that was done and all of the obstacles that we overcame and all the things that we had to work our way through. I don't want to go back to that time. I'm thankful that I'm on the other side of that. I've made it through those times. But I really wouldn't want to go back. But in an interesting way, I wouldn't trade those times, because through those obstacles, I've gotten to where I am today. I'm in a much better place today than I would have been had I continued down that path. But I've modified my path. I've altered my path enough. We've repaired some things in our life. We've rebuilt some things. And I'm using the planks from those obstacles that were in my life, and I'm building a whole brand new platform. So sometimes when you come up against your obstacles, I want you to think about it today. When you come up against your obstacles, think about how will I refer to this obstacle a year from now, or 3 years from now, or 5 years from now? How can I use this time, this negative time, this barrier, this boundary, this obstacle that I'm facing, how can I use this to help propel myself towards a brighter future, help propel myself into a brighter life, a more productive life, a more generous and contributing kind of a life? Look at the obstacle that you're facing today and try to decide, how can I use this to build a platform to carry me to the next level? I'm reminded of oftentimes as a child we would take things and build them. I can tell you instances where we would take lumber that we found in an old barn and built tree houses back in Idaho, and back in sweet Idaho. I love that. I love that old tree house. The thing just sticks in my brain. But we would take lumber that we found, and I'm putting that in quotations. We found some lumber in an old barn, and we salvaged that lumber, and I'm being very generous with my use of the phrase salvage, but we salvaged the lumber and we built a beautiful tree house, an amazing tree. I've got pictures of it. I need to post those sometimes, but we built this amazing tree house where we had some tremendous adventures. And once again, we used the planks from possibly a failure in somebody's life. Maybe those boards came out of a building that fell down in the middle of a storm, that life got too much and it caused it to crumble. We were able to salvage those planks, those boards, off of it. I still grin at the salvage word. We were able to salvage those planks. We were ornery. We salvaged those planks, and we made a whole brand new platform. We developed it into something completely brand new. So I'm gonna get to laughing now when I get to thinking about those times. But you could take the obstacle that's in your life, take the thing that's staring you in the face right now that is an obstacle, and realize that down the road in the future you could take those planks, the very things that right now are keeping you from what you want to do, and you can use those to build a platform to carry you to the next level. Hope this helps you today. God bless.